Yo.
What's up, bro? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. We got a dope video for you guys today. Today we got a long motherfucking video. I will repeat that. We got a long motherfucking video. So subscribe to the channel. We're making fucking bangers for you. Yeah, you. I'm talking about you, buddy. And I'm just stoked to fucking be here. So yeah, guys, if you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Chase, and I make some pretty dope tennis content. So if you're not familiar with who I am, I coached at IMG Academy, okay? I was mentored as a coach by Rick Macy. After working there for 6 months, literally working from the ground up, picking up fucking trash and having no fucking lessons, putting chairs away, all that shit for free, working my way up to charging over $200 an hour within 6 months, and yeah, being a director at 21 years old. So that was a few years ago now, and yeah, I've launched my own online program, and I've helped over 1,000 players in 5 different continents. So yeah, guys, without further ado, the first thing I want to talk about today, before we even get into the point play stuff, all right, I want to give you guys a real quick gem on something that you can start applying, and is basically a framework for how to operate. And this is what like the top like mental experts recommend. And basically like what most people don't realize is that they're really making 3 decisions that shape their fucking life, okay? The first is, what am I going to focus on? Because where you put your focus is where you're putting your energy, okay? So that's the first decision. It's, what am I going to focus on? The second decision is, what does this mean? What does it mean? The meaning that you give to a situation determines how you feel and what you fucking believe is possible, okay? And then the third thing is, what am I gonna do? Now, what the hell am I going to do? That specific choice is what creates your actual results, right? Think about it. Forget what you're focusing on. Forget what does that mean, the thing that you're focusing on. But what you do is the action you're taking, which is gonna get whatever result you got coming to you, right? So the difference between someone who folds under pressure and someone who rises is how they answer those specific 3 questions, especially when things go wrong, okay? So if you can control these 3 decisions, you can effectively control your outcomes and be able to actually manipulate them with a little bit more control, okay? It's simple, but it's really, really fucking powerful, okay? Now, here's the thing. If you want to change those decisions, and let's even backtrack. If you want to change in general, where you want a different result for your game, for your life, your business, whatever the fuck it is, your personal brand, whatever it is, you need to realize that you gotta change to change, bro. You gotta change to change. The fastest way to change
Is by altering your state.
for 1 second. You gotta change. You have to change those 3 decisions. So if you want to change those 3 decisions, or one of them, right? The fastest way is to alter your current state and just your state in general, all right? Now, this is the mental part that the world, I would say the top expert in the mental side in terms of even like motivational, inspirational, his name is Tony Robbins. He's been hired by presidents. Bill Clinton worked with him.
Shout out Monica Lewinsky. But
Presidents have worked with him. The best athletes have worked with him.
right, the top dogs have worked.
With this guy, right? And what he says is,
What Tony Robbins says specifically, I just looked down right here real quick. Tony Robbins talks about all the time, motion creates.
emotion. Motion creates emotion. You can't think your way into a better mindset if you're fucking slouched, your breathing is shallow, and your energy is just flat, right? But like this, hell no. Have good posture, right? Like sit up.
You know what I'm saying?
But
One of the simplest ways,
to change your mindset is to actually change your physical body and what you're doing with that, right? So that's why one thing that I push in my agenda is jump rope. I'm huge on that because it's a quick thing. It's an intense thing that not only helps your game, but it's going to instantly change your state, right? Let's say you just woke up in the morning.
you're feeling sluggish,
You just want to sit on the couch. You don't want to do anything.
right? You're maybe not that motivated. You're feeling tired, you're sluggish. By doing 1,000 jump rope, by doing something like that alters your physicality, you're gonna realize why after maybe your posture is a little different. Maybe you're standing up a little straighter now.
Right? Maybe after that, all of a sudden you got all this energy, right? Because you altered your state.
The lesson there is
You don't need motivation, bro. You need some fucking movement, man. You need some movement, okay? And
the moment your body shifts, your mind will follow that.
all right, so take those principles. I'll repeat the three again, the three questions. What am I going to focus on? Second, what does this mean? You're assigning meaning to it. Positive, negative. You're deciding what that thing means. And then the third thing is, what am I going to do now?
Okay, so take those lessons and apply that.
Take some value out of that, guys. And that stuff right there has been very impactful for me. So I know it will definitely help you as well. All right. So yeah, guys, besides that, just got back from a trip. I went to Montana for about a week and that was fucking crazy. Saw bison, saw black bears, went fishing, caught some trout out there. Crazy shit. Crazy mountains out there. But beautiful place. Highly recommend if you get a chance to go. So went on a little side quest there. And it was weird, actually on my way to the airport, right? When I was flying from Florida to Montana, got in a fucking car accident. So had to reschedule my tickets, get on the next flight and make that happen. But luckily made it out okay. And yeah, could have been a lot worse than it was though. So gotta be grateful for every moment you fucking have. But after Montana, I headed to DC to get checked out by some doctors for my back and my neck from the car accident. Okay, so made a pit stop back in DC for a few days before heading back to Florida, where I am currently now at the fucking HQ. So yeah, guys, I'm pumped for these longer videos that I make for you guys. So subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're not new, still subscribe to the channel. And let's fucking get into this, guys. We're gonna be reviewing today Varvara Gracheva from France versus Hailey Baptiste from the United States. And this is in a second round match in Paris. So this is actually kind of crazy, guys, but believe it or not, when I was training when I was younger, probably around the ages of between 10 and maybe 14, 15, I actually trained a few times with Hailey Baptiste. So that's fucking crazy. And I actually took her out on red clay. I remember 6'4" on red clay. Took her out. I think I was probably about 13 years old. So no matter what anyone says, I remember the result. I remember the result. And I would stand by that still to this day. Let's get into it, guys. Hope you're having an amazing motherfucking day and let's rock. Also, one thing I want to note, and this is especially helpful for coaches out there and even players, because you can apply this with your coach and have this as a standard. But one thing that I believe as a coach, and I learned this from one of my mentors, is when you're helping somebody, right? When you're coaching someone, it's your responsibility. And this is just one philosophy, right? You could argue it's wrong, right? But what this philosophy is as a coach, you should give a correction every single ball that they're hitting if it's in like some type of technical drill, right? But if we're talking in point play, one type of
Feedback or correction each point.
right? So there's something to learn from every point, right? And even if it's not necessarily like they're doing something wrong, there's still something you can point out. There's still something that could give value, right? To the student, to the athlete, right? And that's a mindset that if you can apply that, right? As a coach, you're gonna get a lot more out of your athletes because they're gonna be mentally more engaged. They're getting feedback every fucking time. So they're gonna actually care about what they're doing, right? They're not gonna feel like their coach is just slacking off. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a player who is kind of tired of that with your coach and how it's not a lot of feedback, not a lot of attention for yourself, maybe ask that. Can I get feedback every ball? If they're like feeding you something for like a forehand drill or backhand drill or whatever, right? And if it's points, like say they're watching you play a set, look, it doesn't have to be every fucking point, but like it should be every point. It should be every point, bro. You know, just as a general rule, as a default, as a structure to succeed more. It's very beneficial, all right? So that's something that I believe and that's something I apply and I try to do that my best. But yeah, guys, so if you're back home there, apply that for yourself with your own players. Apply that with yourself as a player. If you are training, think about try to make some correction every single ball you're hitting, right? If you're working on something technically, right? If you know, you're just fucking out there with your coaches and you don't have a real purpose and there's no corrections, you're just getting reps. It's like you might as well be hitting on a fucking wall, right? It's like I hear that all the time from players. It's like they go out there, they're training with their coach. There's no goals, there's no objectives. They're just out there smacking balls for fucking 2 hours. And at the end of it, they get pushed out at court to hit some serves. And then it's like, what are we doing here, right? So the lesson there is have a plan, right? Have a real plan when you're going out there to fucking train, right? Take it seriously. Have some professionalism with your own training. You should be training as if you're a pro, right? Regardless of your level. But yeah, guys, let's get into it. Boom.
I know what you What's the
Patient in the cross-court rally. She goes line. Now here, notice there's no recovery. There's no, at least not a fast recovery from this lady over here, Gracheva. So Hailey Baptiste is going close stance, and she's probably going backhand cross here, right? But her job there strategically, right? It's simple. It's like your opponent goes line, and you can make them go down the line kind of too early. And what I mean by that is situationally, you can make it so it was a bad decision for them to go down the line. If you can get there early, go cross and make them pay and make them really run, right? And she did that. So that's actually pretty good, right? It's like she didn't take a ton of risk there, but it was just enough to get that job done. Pretty solid. You definitely got to look out for Hailey Baptiste. She's up next. She's already arrived, but she's definitely up next as well.
Then you have it with the answer.
Crazy good depth. Pause.
Canada. Professional. But the good sense. Yes, that. Never come talk. I will. You got the whatever must there.
Served on the tee. Even though she missed that, where is she aiming? Deep middle. That's a great target. She's following the plan. That's a good miss. That's a good miss. Like if you're the athlete, stay positive. Stay positive about it. It's good. It's okay.
Well, it's the luck.
By the way, when I make these videos, I always get like 2 big ass glasses of water. At least. Sometimes more.
Well, that's my this is like it. Yeah, I like it over.
I saw unforced error.
Like it.
So look, let's look here. Let's look here. It's just like
Like it. Yeah, I like it over.
let's continue. Let's look to it. I'm gonna bite my tongue on that one.
10 was I was it's fine.
Served, slice serve, breaking the sideline within the service box. What that does is it puts your opponent in a consistent, repeatable position objectively outside the court. Right here, as you can see.
And
She went for the +1 down the line. Hailey Baptiste goes slice. Gives her the shorter ball. She moves diagonally forward. It's called cutting the court. She's cutting the court. Makes contact. Goes cross court big. Aggressive. Taking control over the point. Now, Hailey Baptiste went down the line. Now. Okay. This girl here. Oh man, she sliced it. Forehand slice. Floating short ball. I love how Hailey Baptiste goes open here. Solid. Solid. Also, This is one of the rare cases, okay, where you're going to see a WTA player have ATP mechanics. There's a reason why she's fucking good at the game, bro. Not only because she's athletic, because her technique is amazing. She has all of the ATP checkpoints on her forehand. She keeps the racket on the hitting side. That shit is a rarity on the women's side. I don't know what the hell the women are doing, but the modern way is getting into the women's game even more now. So as the next years go on, next 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years go on, you're only going to see more of that, you know? So this is just a textbook example of an outlier of like, she actually does have more ATP style mechanics on the forehand, and it's really clean.
Don't look at me. Yeah, but there.
I wonder who built her technique. I wonder who she would credit for that.
You know,
Who was probably a coach really early on.
Larry, yeah, Larry, oh. Just look, you got that. Sedowski.
Shit's lagging, bro. Drop cross. Also, women don't drop shot enough. Hailey Baptiste using the drop shot, that's sick. I love to see that.
And
That's crazy feel. That's crazy feel. Damn. That's from all the butthead, playing butthead at College Park. That's a fact. That shot right there, she won that because of playing butthead at College Park. If you know, you know.
hi, coach. You very hard. That's he did. Getting that to take that. Good head. The look the left. I would be good. Yeah, I mean that. I guess. You didn't. Right, you caught me.
Slice. I love seeing that she's structuring points. Gracheva is structuring points on the do side, slice serve out wide. That's awesome. That is music to my ears.
Get go. Go. Oh. How does it look? Okay.
I think Hailey Baptiste can get top 10. I think she can do it. I think she can do it. I think there's a new age of American tennis coming through.
Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Dog. Said it, please. Said it. Then individual.
Notice how she's bouncing, resetting, getting some energy into her legs, right? That's something good to do, right? When you're kind of, you play a point, whether you win or lose, you just kind of want to reset, right? Create kind of a routine that gets you into kind of something repeatable, right? That's a routine for you. So for her, it's taking a few bouncing steps before, right? And then bouncing the ball and then going into the motion. So find what is that for you? Is it going back to the fence, touching it with the racket? What is it? That's something that I used to do, right? Go back to the towel, touch the fence with your racket, whatever it is, right? So find something that can help you perform better. Good splits from Hailey Baptiste. Serve is out. How about make the serve so I can break something down for the people watching this? Make the serve, please, next time. Thanks.
Yep.
It's a good ball. Let's see, how does she load there? She splits. Now look, she split steps. On the return though, because the ball's coming right to her though, she doesn't have to take any steps. She just loads. She's in a good stance position, so she just loads. Open stance, pushes off the right foot. It's a good shot cross. Shit. It's a good shot. Serve out wide. First ball to the other side. Notice she went serve to that side. First ball to the other side. Swim just directionally again. That's a good shot. Wow. So let's take a look at that. So one thing that you can notice is if your opponent is tight to the baseline, right, when they're moving laterally, one thing you can do if they're really tight, she's kind of tight to the baseline, right? Imagine if she was even closer to the baseline, it would make this shot even more powerful, right? But even here, you see how because she made the ball really deep, her opponent has to hit the ball off her back foot here, right? So that's something that you can look for next time your opponent's in this corner moving this way. If you can get there in time and send a ball deep middle here, it can actually put them on their back foot, right? So that's just a kind of one-off scenario kind of in a bottle there that you can try to replicate as well. Because now your opponent's on the back foot here, they might give you a short ball. Higher likelihood probably.
It's not deep.
Okay, so now she gets a short ball. Now, she pushes off the right. Oh, wow, she goes cross. Holy shit, that's good.
Not deep.
So notice, she takes a step forward with the right foot, pushes off, right foot, makes contact, and then the left foot touches down. Now, the decision is go down the line as a general rule. However, if I know the shot I'm going for can hit a winner, I'm going to go cross court. So here,
That's deep.
you look here,
Not deep.
Hailey gives her the short ball. Now she says, can I hit a winner cross? If yes, I'm going for it. If not, I got to go line. And she goes cross, but she went for a shot that could hit a winner, right? Notice she didn't just hit a deep ball cross court. She would have gotten burned. So when she went cross, she knew she could do damage. So utilize that for yourself.
Okay.
This thing's lagging.
Coach. Violet. Wait. Oh. But like, how did the flood that? Thank you. Thank you.
Some of you guys might disagree with this. I might get some hate online. But why are you hitting that closed stance, man? Why the hell are you doing that? Like, you can totally do it, right? Like, you can do that. But you're so far behind the baseline. You're probably not going to be making contact so far in front, right? One of the benefits of using the open stance is you're actually going to be making contact a little bit closer into you, right? So it gives you a little bit more time with that, okay? So all I'm saying is consider open stance in that scenario. I'm not saying it's 100% why she missed that, right? But I would bet if she did open stance there, might yield a different result, okay? But we might get some hate online for that, but I don't give a fuck.
Go let point.
Benefits of using the open stance.
Going to be making contact a little bit closer into you, right? So it gives you a little bit more time with that. Okay? So all I'm saying is consider open stance in that scenario. I'm not saying it's 100% why that's she missed that, right? But I would bet if she did open stance there, it might yield a different result. Okay? But we might get some hate online for that, but I don't give a fuck.
Benefits of using the open stance.
Going to be making contact a little bit closer into you, right? So it gives you a little bit more time with that. Notice, okay? So why isn't she going close stance here? All I'm saying,
Why isn't she going close stance?
consider open stance in that scenario.
Because you would be a fool to go close stance here.
Right?
You'd be an absolute fool to go close
stance
stance
she did
here.
open stance there,
And she ain't no
might
fool.
yield a different result.
She goes open stance, push off the right,
but we might get some hate online for that, but I don't
makes
give a fuck.
contact. Her feet are literally in the air, and let's see if the left foot touches. The left foot touches. Okay? She benefits of using the open stance.
It's going to be making
Damn.
contact a little
Way to
bit
make me look
closer
bad.
into you.
But it's okay.
Right? So
the message
it gives
still
you a
is
little bit
clear,
more time with that.
right? Open
Okay.
stance was the right move
So
there. Make or miss.
All I'm
That's what
saying
some people
is
don't
consider
understand
open stance
online.
in that scenario.
Some of you
I'm not
don't
saying it's
understand
100% why
that
that's
you
she
can
missed
do
that,
the right
right?
thing
But
and lose
I
the
would
point
bet if she did open stance
strategically.
there,
You can also do
might
the
yield a
wrong
different
thing. I can hit
result.
a stupid ass shot
but
and win the
we
point.
might get some hate online.
That
for
doesn't mean
but
I'm
I
a
don't give
fucking
fuck.
genius. Right? It's called it happens. It's called that shit happens. All right? Benefits of using the open stance.
It's going to be making contact a little bit closer into you, right? So it gives you a little bit more time with that. Okay? So all I'm saying is consider open stance in that scenario. I'm not saying it's 100% why that's she missed that, right? But I would bet if she did open stance there, it might yield a different result. Okay? But we might get some hate online for that, but I don't give a fuck.
Kick out wide, breaking the sideline within the service box. Meaning, this is the sideline. The serve,
Benefits of
you
using
can hit
the
a
open
kick serve,
stance.
and it can
It's gonna be
break
making
the
contact
sideline,
a little bit
but it
closer
could
into
bounce
you.
here and then break
Right,
through the
so
sideline
it gives
here.
you a little bit more time
right?
with
Your
that.
opponent can just step up and
Okay.
take that early,
So
right? But
all
when
I'm
you
saying
hit it a
is
little bit
consider open
shorter,
stance in
right,
that scenario.
landing
I'm not
either
saying it's
here closer to
100%
the
why
line
she
this
missed
way,
that, right?
or just shorter in
But
the court,
I would bet
and
if
it
she
breaks
did open
out
stance
this way,
there, might
okay,
yield a different result.
you're gonna get more aggressive angle.
Okay. But
And the reason why
we
I
might get some
stress
hate
that
online
is
for
because
that, but
most
I don't give a
players
fuck.
don't train with short enough cones and don't actually train with the intention of breaking the sideline within the service box.
Benefits
Not
of
just
using
the
the open
sideline in
stance.
Gonna
general
be
as a
making
whole.
contact a little bit
So
closer
for
into
you out there,
right? So
pay
it gives
attention
you a
to the
little more
ones
time
that
with
break the sideline within the
Okay.
service box,
So
and really value those in your training.
all I'm saying is consider open stance in
good
that
return.
scenario. I'm not saying it's 100% why that's she
Really
missed
good
that,
return from Hailey.
right? But I would bet if she did open stance there, it might yield a different result. Okay? But we might get some fuck.
Benefits of using the open stance.
Going to be making contact a little bit closer into you, right? So it gives you a little bit more time with that. Okay? So all I'm saying is consider open stance in that scenario. I'm not saying it's 100% why that's she missed that, right? But I would bet if she did open stance there, it might yield a different result. Okay? But we might get some fuck.
Benefits of using the open stance.
Hailey
Gonna be making
Baptiste has the
contact a
best
little bit
drop shot
closer
on the
into
women's side of the tour.
Right? So it gives you a little bit
Damn.
more time with that. Okay? So all I'm saying
I think she
is
definitely has the
consider
best
open
feel.
stance in that scenario.
Shit is crazy.
I'm not saying it's 100% why that's
Who do you think has better
Right?
feel than Hailey
But
Baptiste
I would bet
on the
if she did
women's
open
side of the
stance
tour?
there,
Drop
might
it in the
yield a different
comments.
result.
I don't
Okay.
think there's many people.
But we might get some fuck. Hailey Baptiste has the best drop shot on the women's side of the tour. Damn. I think she definitely has the best feel. Shit is crazy. Who do you think has better feel than Hailey Baptiste on the women's side of the tour? Drop it in the comments. I don't think there's many people. The fuck? Was that the longest game in fucking history, bruh? Hailey Baptiste has the best drop shot on the women's side of the tour. What's going on? I think she definitely has the best feel. Shit is crazy. Who do you think has better feel than Hailey Baptiste on the women's side of the tour? Drop it in the comments. I don't think there's many people. The fuck? Hailey Baptiste has the best drop shot on the women's side of the tour. Damn. I think she definitely has the best feel. Shit is crazy. Who do you think has better feel than Hailey Baptiste
I would argue that she
on the
could cross.
women's side of the tour? Drop it in the comments. I don't think there's many people. The fuck? Where's she gonna go here? She can, because it's so short and such a floating ball, she can probably hit a winner either way. Hailey
It is
Baptiste
clay,
has
though.
the best drop shot on the women's
Right?
side of the tour.
And Hailey Baptiste is fast.
Damn.
But let's see. Do you think she's gonna go cross or line?
I think she definitely has the best feel.
because
Shit
she's
is
at
crazy.
such a disadvantage in the point.
Who do you
She
think
needs
has
to
better
guess
feel than Hailey
early.
Baptiste on the
Because
women's
look,
side of
either
the
way
tour?
here, she's gonna be able to crush
Drop
a
it in
good
the
ball,
comments.
unless she just fucks
I don't
up
think
here,
there's many
right?
people.
But I'm assuming she's gonna hit a good ball. So
fuck?
if you're Hailey Baptiste, you need to start guessing early, pick a side, and go boom. Either sprint this way or sprint this way, but you gotta react quick. She guessed
Hailey
correct.
Baptiste has the best
Oh, man,
drop
she was
shot
there
on the
too.
women's
What?
side of the tour. Damn.
Dang. She was literally there too.
I think she definitely has the best feel. Shit is crazy. Who do you think has better feel than Hailey Baptiste on the women's side of the tour? Drop it in the comments. I don't think there's many people. The fuck? Hailey Baptiste has the best drop shot on the women's side of the tour. Damn. I think she definitely has the best feel. Shit is crazy. Who do you think has better feel than Hailey Baptiste on the women's side of the tour? Drop it in the comments. I don't think there's many people.
It's a bomb.
The fuck?
I would return that though.
Hailey Baptiste has the best drop shot on the women's side of the tour. Damn. I think yes.
Good try. Yo, I like the open stance. It's a
Who
good
do you
try.
think has
Let's
better
see again
feel than
target-wise
Hailey
if
Baptiste
that was a good target.
on the
to go
women's
for.
side of the tour.
I love how she's setting
Drop
it
it
up.
in
The
the
serve
comments.
broke the sideline within the
I
service
don't
box.
think there's
Love
many
that.
people.
She popped into open
fuck?
stance, super aggressive. Notice the racket is on the right side of her body. ATP forehand. She's got the ATP forehand. Okay, and she
Hailey
missed
Baptiste
it.
has
A lot
the
of coaches
best
are gonna be
drop
like,
shot on the
"Oh,
women's side
like
of
some
the
people
tour."
online are gonna be like, oh,
Damn.
she missed the shot. She missed the shot, man. How can you miss anything? Oh, she missed the shot. It's because she did the right thing. Right thing.
Who do
Okay.
you think has better
So,
feel
get
than
it through
Hailey
your head.
Baptiste on the women's side of the tour? Drop it in the comments. I
You
don't
can
think
do
there's
the right
many-
thing strategically and not execute. It's called tennis. Everyone misses balls. Federer missed balls. Serena missed balls. Everyone misses balls.
Hailey Baptiste has the best drop shot.
Damn, I'm
on
finishing
the
on my
women's side
water.
of the tour.
Let's get some more water soon.
Damn. I think. Who do you think has better feel than Hailey Baptiste on the women's side of the tour? Drop it in the comments. I don't think there's many people.
The fuck?
Hailey Baptiste has the best drop shot on the women's side of the tour. Damn. I think. Oh my god. Who do you think has better feel than
What the
Hailey
hell is
Baptiste
going on here on her serve?
on the women's side of the tour? Drop it in the comments. I don't think there's many people.
Okay. The fuck? Not as bad as I thought.
Hailey Baptiste has the best drop shot on the women's side of the tour. Damn. I think. Who do you think has better feel than Hailey Baptiste on the women's side of the tour? Drop it in the comments. I don't think there's many people.
The fuck?
Notice when she jumps and she's pushing up from the ground, look at her chest angle. It's a little blurry here, but here, I'll go back. Hailey Baptiste has
Look
the
at when she's
best
pushing
drop
up.
shot on the
Look at her
women's side of
chest
the tour.
angle going up like this.
Damn.
Look at it go up like this.
You see that? You see that little movement there? You see that movement there? That's the nuance
Who do
on
you
your
think has
serve, that if
better
you can
feel
crack
than
that,
Hailey
get that
Baptiste
chest
on
angle,
the
women's side
I
of
mean,
the
you
tour.
should be able to add an extra
Drop it in
10,
the
20
comments.
miles an hour, easy.
I don't think there's many people.
The fuck?
The fact that what? It. But there and it the shoot to let's give her some. Stop. Whoa! Down over there. Go down here. Up. But. Then I can. God. Do something. And look. What's that? That. Right. Stop it.
Notice. Pushed off the right, made contact, then the left touches. Again. Then she goes cross court on this approach shot, shorter ball, because she can hit a winner. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention.
Mostly. What we?
Sir.
Not only know, guys. What we are.
Okay, guys. So look. It's crazy. These situations keep happening. She gets the ball. We're going to start this one from the beginning. Okay? Look. In this point, Hailey Baptiste approaches to the wrong target and gets burned because of it. Let's see.
We are.
She gets a short ball. Now, this would be considered an approach shot. Okay? What's happening is she has a decision. Am I going to approach cross court? Am I going to approach down the line? Okay, the opponent's on this side of the court. So you might think, okay, go cross court, go away from her, right? Maybe. But if you go cross court
and don't hit a winner or do basically the same job as a winner and do a ton of damage, okay, where they basically, you force them to make an error off of it, they're going to burn you. They are going to burn you.
But
Because look, she has plenty of time here. She splits. It's okay. Like she splits. That's not bad positioning necessarily. And look, she hits a good passing shot, but that's not some, at this level, that's not some, oh, that's a crazy shot that Gracheva hit. That's a standard backhand down the line passing shot. That she could have done this. I don't know how old she is, but she could probably do this when she was playing ITFs. You know, easily. She would have been able to execute that same ball, in my opinion. Okay? So even at the highest levels, guys, if you approach cross court too early, you're going to get burned. This is the same thing for you out there. You're a 8 UTR, you're a 10 UTR, you're a 1 UTR, you're a no UTR. You don't even know what the fuck UTR is. This concept will still help you if you apply it into your playing out there, right? Approach cross court if you can hit a winner. If not, go down the line as a general rule, as a general guideline for you to follow, okay? Let's take a look at her second serve here. She goes through her routine. She's setting up in a platform. Good shoulder, elbow angle here. This is pretty solid. Racket head is above the wrist, which is above the elbow before she's pushing from the ground. You can see here actually in the frame, it's actually starting to trail right here, but she's about to push up. So look, she's pushing up. Notice her chest is pointing up to the sky. Okay, notice, you see that curve here? Right? And look at how low the racket is. Look at how low the racket is. That was pretty good. Also, let's take a look at another thing. She lands one step inside. She's not landing too far inside here, 4 or 5 steps. She's landing one little step inside. Okay, now, let's take a look. She's already recovering split step. Now, notice how she's turning. This is a textbook forehand preparation. Very high level stuff, even just from a technical standpoint. Whether she's worked hard on this for years or not, I don't know, but I would guess that was baked in at an early age, for sure. Because she was hitting like this when I was playing against her too. Didn't look much different. So you can see is her left hand is on the racket, the ball bounces, and now she lets go of the left hand, which was onto the racket. Okay, notice her left arm is either parallel with the baseline or a little bit past, similar to Carlos Alcaraz, and how when he turns his shoulders, he turns them even past the baseline, not just parallel. Okay, and because of the fact that she hits those ATP checkpoints, that's why she can rip the forehand. And she just happened to hit a winner there. All right, I'm going to keep this going. I need to get some water real quick. Actually, I'm going to pop it. We re-upped on the agua. Re-upped the water. Yes, sir. Yes, sirski. All right. Now I will be right back. Gotta use the restroom real quick. Alrighty, people, we are back. We are back and ready to rock, so let's go.
Did I put those in the cabin?
Headphones might be helpful.
Yeah, that auto request. Proceed a little bit by Schwab. Don't you be guys in the music. That's a very good thing. I know.
By the way, yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, bro, I just got a question. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, man? Hit the button. Hit the button. I'm making the best content, bro. You know it. Let's go. That's a good shot. Damn.
Real thin. More together. Play with the food. You got it. Oh. On your scotch. About them. Wait.
Damn, that's a good shot.
Sorry. It's what?
Serve wide. So look there, even though that was out, that scenario, what happened there, right? The ball was almost in, and it was almost like she was expecting it to go out. My recommendation is play like there's no lines on the court and everything's going to be in. Like from a movement perspective, from like a getting ready for the ball perspective. Then you're ready, the ball bounces, they call it out. Okay, wait, that surprises me now? Okay, cool. Okay, now I can chill, right? But over prepare. That's one way that you'll never get burned with weird scenarios like that. Just my 2 cents there.
Nope. Well, so you call how much habit you do it? Okay, talk me. How don't you? I didn't see what you. It's good, yeah. Sure, look at it. It's like what? Get quick. Oh, it's like it out there. But yep. Yeah, taking that trip.
Okay, so one very small tip here, very nuanced point. Not a horrible error, right? She tried to find the forehand. It's a good thing to do. She went to this target over here and missed it. Let's play again one more time, show you what she did. She missed it a little bit wide. My recommendation for players is, say you're starting out here like she was, and now you're moving this way, right? Let's say your target in your mind returning is, I want to return to this target right here, right? Factor in, because I'm moving this way, instead of aiming like this, because I'm moving this way, I'm going to adjust my target instead of here, a little bit over here more, a little bit more conservative with it. Okay, so in general, let's say you were aiming here, something random, right? Like deep middle, right? You're gonna do that, right? Adjust, that's a little different because it's deep middle. But especially when it's across your body like this, right? In the direction that you're moving into and kind of like falling into, right? This is a very common scenario on the ad side for like running around a second serve and hitting it when you're maybe a little bit going to the side like this, right? So it's just a very small tweak of your target. Adjust your target over a little bit when you're hitting the ball on the run like that, moving around it, okay? When you're not there with an abundance of time. If you're there with an abundance of time, let's say it's a slower ball, it's a shorter ball, or just slower in general, it's an easier ball, you're there in time and you're set up perfectly, then you can totally disregard that, right? Very nuanced point there, a small tip.
Yeah, you're doing. But let's do that, man. What lessons? That's it. Recall to thank you. But that. That's why I'm about. I don't want to. When I remember taking the sun. Stop. And then. Oh! That good. Up. Yeah, there. Oh. Sit down. And track. Yeah, but. He was Dexter. Check it. Challenging.
So notice there, she goes cross court on the approach shot because she can hit a winner, right? She's not just going cross court, normal standard approach, cross court. She goes cross with enough angle to hit a winner. There's a reason behind that. There's a reason behind it.
Oh, the canter.
Yo, by the way, guys, I'm making a YouTube video right now. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. And I might answer them. That's right. Yeah. So on YouTube, you'll see I'm on live right now on Instagram. So any questions that they have, they can drop them in right now and I'll answer for you guys. So on YouTube, come over to Instagram and follow me on IG. And if you want a more personal access to me, right? You want to follow me on IG.
By the way, guys,
all right.
I'm
So
making
let's
a
continue.
YouTube video right now. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments.
And if you want a more personal
Yo, okay,
so
by the way, guys, I'm making a YouTube
Amita,
video right now. If you guys have any questions, drop
bro,
them in the
so mental advice for you.
comments.
I got some really good mental advice for you. Okay? But I want you to watch my YouTube video. It's going to be, I'm going to post it soon. I'm making it right now. It's going to be Hailey Baptiste versus Varvara Gracheva. Okay? So stay tuned on my YouTube for that. If you haven't subbed to my YouTube, that's where all my best content is by far. Way better than my Instagram content. So if you got any value out of my IG stuff, that's literally just the tip of the iceberg. Those are just small clips from my long ass YouTube videos. Okay. So if you want the full breakdown, the full context, stay tuned and watch that. I'm making one right now. I'm already probably over an hour into it. And yeah, I am about any value out of my IG stuff. That's literally just the tip of the iceberg. 2-hour
Tip of the iceberg. Those are just small clips from my long ads.
But
Okay.
yeah, that's my 2 cents for you.
Emma Navarro or Daniel Collins, best legs. I don't know about that one, buddy. It's a weird question. It's a sus question, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna continue here. I'll still be reading the chat though. Feel free to keep dropping stuff in the chat. I'll see it.
Notice how far inside the court Hailey is returning this ball. She's halfway up in no man's land on the return. Even though her return clipped the net and went for a winner, and you might just be like, oh shit, she clipped the net, hit a winner. She put herself in a position to hit that though. So she still did all the right things that were within her control.
Back here. For the cookie. Looking for tight. Lover, it's the blind.
Okay, so Ezekiel Lucas Martin. Chase, I'm a tennis coach transitioning to the online world. Any advice on how to target the right audience? Yeah. So number one, bro, is you have to get specific with who you're targeting. So if you are trying to serve everyone, every type of athlete, every type of player, that type of athlete, the ones that are maybe best suited to work with you, won't actually, sorry, I saw what you said there. They won't be attracted to you, bro, right? So what helped me when I was starting was getting super, super specific, okay, on exactly, all right, who I'm best at serving. So think to your best students, the ones who you get the best results for, the ones who love working with you, right? Who is that? Get crystal clear on that, bro. Okay? And you were watching the YouTube video with Jeremy Pogue. Nice, bro. Nice. That's my guy. That's my guy, Jeremy. They won't be attracted to you, bro. Right? So what helped me was getting super, super specific. Okay? Who wins peak Sampras versus peak Djokovic. All right? Who I'm best at. Sampras would get his ass kicked. Best students. The ones who you get the best results. Sampras would get smacked by peak Djokovic. Right? Who is that?
Get crystal clear on that.
High performance players is your specialty.
Okay.
And cool. Do you have a lot of testimonials with
watching
that?
the
Do you have a lot
YouTube
of
video
case
with Jeremy
studies of
Pope.
athletes who you've
Nice,
helped?
bro. Nice. That's my guy.
Post about it.
Jeremy.
Let people know. Who have you worked with?
They won't be attracted to
What
you,
type
bro.
of results have you
Right?
gotten for
So
you?
what helped me when I was
Right? But really, bro, what I needed when I was in your position before going online is I didn't know how to start building a personal brand. I didn't know how to start making content. So you want to get clear on those things. You want to build a real personal brand for yourself so you can stand out from all the other coaches, because there's a shitload of coaches out there. So
Can we go with all that? Or is it? I will where's I said you're eyeing this out? What did the not look? There's good that. That's the gun pack. Good. I can. Stuff. Big. Yeah. I is that trick. Yes, it is big. Well, hurricane. To move. That a desert.
as a high school player, what do you think is the most important thing to focus on?
That it
Okay, what's your UTR, bro? What's your UTR? You said are some tennis matches fixed? Maybe at lower levels. I've heard of instances where that's the case, but I don't know how common it is. But yeah, the high school player guy, let me know your UTR, bro, and I'll help you out with something to focus on.
Important thing to focus on. But
Okay,
in
what's
general,
your
I would
UTR,
say
bro?
For high school players,
What's your UTR? Depends your level, but if you haven't dialed in your footwork and that's a big bottleneck for you, I would try doing 1,000 jump rope for 30 days straight without missing one day. Do you think getting a partial sponsorship is important for high schoolers? Maybe, if you need it. If you don't need it, it's irrelevant. How fast should I serve as a 4.0 player? 110 miles an hour. That's pretty good for a 4.0 player. 110, that's solid. Yeah, I'd say that's probably at the top end of 4.0 players, for sure. Definitely. Unless you're a 4 UTR, then you're the best 4 UTR in history, bro. If you hit 110 at a 4 UTR. But yeah, keep asking questions, guys. These will be clips on my YouTube. I'm going to keep reviewing this match, though.
Yeah. Look at this. Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, so Hailey Baptiste gets pulled on the run on her backhand side in the corner. Okay, she floats the ball shorter middle. All right. Gracheva rips the ball inside out, approach shot coming in. Hailey Baptiste on the run backhand line. One-hander. Winner. That's crazy. Again, that goes back to my statement earlier. I believe Hailey Baptiste has the best feel on the women's side of the tour. Okay? Who do you think has better feel than her? But that is a crazy shot that she just hit. Holy shit. Okay, somebody asked, what's the key to crack into college level tennis? Bro, you got to get your UTR up to the level that the team that you want to get on has. Look at the average UTR on the team that you want to get on, and you got to get to that level. It's easy for coaches to say UTR doesn't matter, right? It's easy for coaches to say, you know, that
just
just
focus
hit.
on your
Holy
training,
shit.
right? But if you have goals of playing college and you're serious about it,
Okay, somebody asked, If you don't seriously factor in UTR, you're getting fucking scammed right now, bro. Seriously. If you want to play college, you have to actually improve your UTR. That's the number one metric, right, that college coaches look at. So if your junior coaches aren't helping you improve your UTR, hate to break it to you, buddy, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough one. Someone asked, why do tennis pros like Tommy Paul, Fritz, Korda, Zverev, Dimitrov
Okay, somebody
get the
asked,
hottest women?
what's the...
I don't know what to tell you about that one, bro. They got money, they got swag. I don't know what to tell you. It's probably about it. Angel says, you look fine. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Angel. Thank you.
I should just hit pose shit. Okay, somebody asked, what's the...
Satwick asked, how do I not overthink when I'm beating a player than me? You're probably talking about how do I not overthink when playing a player worse than you, maybe? Like, it happens with me a lot when I'm beating better players than me. Oh, playing better players, okay. Beating better players than me and I'm winning, I overthink and then choke. What should I be doing in those? You're overthinking? What are you overthinking, bro? If you're overthinking, more often than not, you probably don't have clarity on what shots to hit. It's as simple as that. You probably don't actually have clarity on what shots to hit, right? Once you can simplify things like, when am I going to hit cross court? When am I going to hit down the line? Where am I going to serve? Where am I going to return? You got to have full certainty where you're going to go with these, right? So when you're playing those better players, do you know what is resulting in you winning? You're probably executing your patterns. You're probably executing something, right? So my advice is you probably got to get clear on your actual strategies, bro. And what I would ask you, Satwick, is are your coaches currently, okay, are they reviewing your tournament match play footage that you should be recording and then sending to them? Are your coaches doing that? If not, that's a fucking problem. That's a big problem. Number two, are your coaches providing you a custom training plan? If you're paying your coaches and paying them a good chunk of money, you should expect that. My advice is you should expect that from your coaching team. Okay? That would be my 2 cents for you, man, on what to improve. Brent asked, does cussing and yelling help when I'm losing? That's a personal thing. That depends on a few things, but that in and of itself, my advice probably won't help you when you're losing. It'll probably get you into more of a spiral. But okay, if it helps you, my 2 cents for you, man. Let go of the last point so you can move on to the next point. Then I would say, maybe that helps you, right? But as a general rule, I would not recommend that, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going here. Feel free to ask more questions, guys. I'm reviewing some footage. My advice is you probably... Okay? That would be my 2 cents for you, man, on what to improve. Good split step from Gracheva. Loading off the right foot. Notice how she shortens her take back on the return. Normally on her forehand, she takes the racket all the way behind her body, all the way back to fucking China, right? Or actually, she's from France, so all the way back to France. She's taking it all the way back to France.
But on the return, she just puts it out to the side. Just kind of takes it back a little bit and then goes forward. Simplifying things, right? Wow. Good from Hailey Baptiste there, breaking down her forehand. Great serve +1 from Hailey Baptiste there. So the repeatable pattern that you can train is with the serve, Hailey went big serve out wide, okay, getting her opponent objectively in the doubles alley, even outside of that, returning. And what she did to cause that is the serve broke between the sideline here. It broke right in the middle of the sideline. Okay, so she did that. That positions her opponent here. Now, if she can step in, take the ball early, it's going to make this down the line backhand super effective. Okay, and that's why she hit a winner there. Hitting her opponent. How can you tell if hard court is fast or slow? Do the balls bounce fast or slow? Do the balls bounce low? Do the balls bounce high? It's pretty self-explanatory, bro. Intake the ball early. Okay. That would be my 2 cents for you then on what to do. Okay, so there. The reason why Gracheva wasn't able to get that ball cross here, her on the run backhand, the reason why she couldn't get the ball deep cross here is because her hips are so closed and she decided to go in a closed stance. Now, what I look at with athletes, okay,
for example, like the athletes in my online program, right, that I still serve to this day, okay, I look at their stance and their posture and I judge that in terms of, okay, do they still have good posture, right, when they're hitting their shot? Right here, I can see she doesn't have good posture. She looks a little off balanced or a lot of bit off balance, right? So because of that and because of the stance choice, it was hard for her to get the ball cross court. So because of that, she hits the ball down the line, okay, which probably wasn't that intentional for her, okay? Now, Hailey here ideally should be tighter to the baseline, take the ball a little earlier, and then punish the ball cross. Okay, she went middle with it, right? Because she didn't take the ball early enough. All right, so that's kind of a footwork thing. Realize the good shot you hit and take some space away from your opponent. Okay, can be super helpful. Okay, so there. Hailey Baptiste went for a drop shot. I love the idea to use the drop shot. I'm the biggest proponent in the whole fucking world of using drop shots. However, that's not the right time to use a drop shot. Now, how do you assess that? Very simple. I'll assess this the same way I do with all of my students. Did you have every single option on the menu? Or was your menu one option? Or was your menu, I don't want to stay in the rally, so I'm going to bail to the drop shot? Okay, so if you look back here, all right, she gets a little bit more of a floating ball, but it's still really deep. It lands a foot inside the baseline. That's still a deep shot, right? So because of that, it's just not the time to use the drop. It's a bailout in that particular scenario, okay? So that's when it's like she can't hit the drop. If there's anyone who's going to make that, it's going to be her, but that's just the wrong time to do it. Okay, so Jay Good says, I don't have a UTR yet. However, I want to step into the world of competitive tennis. What do you think is the best way to do so? Bro, sign up for some fucking tournaments, bro. Sign up for some tournaments. If you're not competing in tournaments, that are going to factor in your UTR, you're not going to be able to improve it. Simple as that. So if you're not competing yet, get in the game, bro. Start competing. Okay? Assuming, you know, you have some solid technical foundations and stuff. But yeah, if you've already been training for a while, there's no reason why you can't start jumping into some tournaments, man. That's my recommendation for you, bro. Take that leap. Yo, what up, Tate? What up, what up? I'm making a YouTube video right now.
If you're not competing in tournaments,
Probably my longest
that are gonna
YouTube video ever. But we're doing it kind of stream style as well. So we got a lot of dope ass content coming. So sub to the YouTube. If you're on IG and you haven't subbed to the YouTube, sub to the channel right now. You will not regret it. So get out of this, sub, and then come back. Drop any questions in the chat. I'm reviewing footage now, but I'll answer it. If you're not competing in tournaments that are gonna doing it kind of stream style. That was a good kick from Hailey.
Up to the YouTube.
She was able to kick the serve above her opponent's strike zone. She was hitting the ball here above her head. So that's what contributed to that error. That are going to Damn. That was a good kick from Hailey. Sub to the YouTube, sub to the channel. Do I like slice forehand approach? If you are a really high level player, I think it's a good thing to have, right? If you are maybe not that high level of a player, it's probably unnecessary for you right now, as a general rule. Someone also asked, Moodal27 asked, how do I recover from a mental burnout? I used to be a 5-star, but quit for 1 year as I'm getting back into USTA tournaments. Kids used to be better than me. Kids I used to be better than are beating me. This sucks for my mental. Okay, so bro, the first thing there is realize you are in the position that you're in, right? So don't try to take shortcuts, bro. All right, you're in that spot. So be patient with yourself, but start competing again and give yourself a few months.
Sub to the
I would
YouTube,
tell
sub
myself
to the
this.
channel.
I'm going to start competing for the next 6 months. And I'm not going to give a fuck about the results. USTA tournament. Okay? But I'm going to focus on my own inputs. Okay? What's within my control? Am I following my game plan? Am I following what my coaches are programming for me? Am I sending my match play footage to my coaches?
Realize.
And are they giving me feedback that's helping me? Right? I would apply consistent efforts with those things to help you so that when you're playing in tournaments, you're not wasting your time and money. Most players, they go to tournaments,
Sub to the
their
YouTube,
coaches
sub to
never
the
fucking see them.
I'm going to start competing
right?
for the next 6 months.
And then guess
quit
what
for
happens?
1 year.
Their coaches
USTA
are giving them all this advice in practice, but they're not seeing what they're doing in tournaments, bro. So that, in my opinion, is not the way to train. So be patient with yourself, bro. Take your time and just realize you're in the spot you're in. So don't take shortcuts, bro. Take the long journey because that's how you can guarantee you'll get back to that level. All right? So it might be tough, but you can do it, bro. Your time and money. Their coaches never fuck. I'm going to start competing for the next 6 months. What should I do to anticipate the next shot?
1 year.
Bro, you should watch my YouTube content, bro. I'll teach you how to anticipate better. But in reality, bro, you need to.
So
what should I do to anticipate the next shot?
Take your time.
Read your opponent's
and
racket head.
Just realize
Right?
your
Pattern recognition. See what your opponent's been doing throughout the match.
Journey,
And it's all pattern recognition, bro.
You'll
So
get back to
as
that
you
level.
compete more,
Right?
as you watch more footage, and as you break down what's actually fucking happening,
you'll be able to anticipate better. And when you start, it's not about am I making the right anticipation.
next shot?
It's are you actually
Bro.
trying to anticipate?
You should
And
watch my YouTube.
you're gonna suck
content,
at the
bro.
beginning,
I'll teach you how to
but
anticipate
you
better.
will improve.
But
You will
in
get
reality,
better,
bro.
And so
Yeah.
the grass is greener on the other side.
What do I
bro.
do?
So I would just start trying to anticipate
yourself,
more.
bro. Take your time.
And but yeah, a lot
realize
of times you
you're
just
in
gotta
the spot,
react.
you know? So
Gotta
don't take
improve your
shortcuts,
reaction.
bro. Take the long journey because that's how you can guarantee you'll get back to that level. All right. So it might be. What should I do to anticipate the next shot, bro? You should watch my YouTube content, bro. I'll teach you how to anticipate better. But in reality, bro. So that what do I do? Trying to anticipate more. The time and just realize you're in the spot you're in. So don't take shortcuts, bro. Take the long journey because that's how you can guarantee you'll get back to that level. All right.
Also, guys,
So my-
realize if you toss the ball in your serve and it's not a good toss, don't hit the fucking ball. You still
should I
can
do to
improve
anticipate the next
on
shot?
that serve. That's what people
Bro.
don't understand. You can
You should watch
improve
my YouTube
on
content, bro.
a serve
I'll
that
teach you
you're
how to anticipate
attempting
better.
and you
But
do a
in
terrible
reality, bro-
toss. How can you improve?
So
by not hitting it.
what do I do?
By making the decision, it's a
Trying
bad
to
toss, I'm
anticipate.
not going to hit it. So don't be stubborn
And it's
and
not
don't
a
just
good
go for
toss.
the ball.
Don't
Just
hit
let
the
it
fucking
drop.
ball.
Be patient.
You
and toss it still again. can improve on that serve. That's what people don't understand. You can improve on a serve that you're attempting, and you
You said
do a
best
terrible
tennis
toss.
book to read.
How can you improve?
There's a lot of good ones
By
out there.
not hitting it.
I would
By
read
making the
Winning
decision,
Ugly.
it's
That's
a bad
good one.
toss.
Is it worth it kicking first serves at a 9 UTR level? So yes, it is worth it. Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
not,
gonna
it's not a
hit
bad thing, right? If your coaches are telling you
and
that's
it's
a bad
not
thing,
a good toss.
it's not a bad
Don't
thing.
hit the fucking ball.
Think about every
You
serve
still
like
can
a tool.
improve on that
Right?
serve. That's what
At a
people
certain
don't
level, you
understand.
should have a slicer,
You can
a kick
improve
serve, and a flat
on
serve.
a serve that you're
And then it's the
attempting,
game of
and you
do you
a
have
terrible
targets?
toss.
Can you hit your target?
How can you improve?
Right?
By not hitting
So using the kick
By
serve as a
making the
first
decision,
serve
it's a bad toss.
is a good option a lot of times. Right? Especially if you're able to hit your targets and break your opponent to go out wide. Okay? So let's see.
I'm not going to hit it.
Satwick says, "Thank you. How should I improve
And
my
it's
sprint
not a
towards
good
the drop
toss.
shot?
Don't hit the
And
fucking
after I
ball.
hit, what
You
should I hit the
still
ball?"
can improve on that serve. That's what people don't understand. You can improve on a serve that you're attempting, and you do a
So
terrible
to
toss.
improve your sprint
How can
towards a
you
drop
improve?
shot, my
by
advice would
not
be
hitting it.
you
By
want to
making
have
the
quick
decision,
eyes
it's a bad toss.
to start running early, right? Usually it's not a raw speed thing, right? If you're really slow to get to drop shots, it's probably more of a reaction thing, right? That's my opinion. Most players can get a big
I'm not
jump
gonna hit it.
in that kind of speed. They don't even
And
have
it's
to do any
not a
running
good
drills.
toss.
It's
Don't
just
hit the
training,
fucking
reading the
ball.
racket head,
You
right? And
still can
anticipating a little
improve
bit better.
on that
Alright,
serve.
but
That's what people don't
If
understand.
you're looking to improve your
You can
actual
improve
sprinting speed,
on a
you got to
serve
start
that you're
sprinting more,
attempting,
right?
and you do a
have your
terrible
coach do
toss.
drills where you're gonna
How
have to
can you
sprint
improve?
up to net to get those.
by not hitting it.
You know,
By making the
and
decision,
after
it's a
running
bad
up for a
toss.
drop shot, one really good option
speed thing.
is
Right? If you're really
to
slow to get to drop shots, it's
counter
probably more of
drop
a
shots.
reaction thing.
most people don't really
Right?
utilize
That's
that
my
as much as they should.
Most
Their opponent
players
hits a drop
can
shot,
get a big
their opponent's
jump in
at
that
the fucking
kinda speed.
baseline,
They don't
and
even have to
they're
do
just
any running.
flat-footed there. They run
It's
up
just
and then they hit the
training,
ball
reading
back
the
deep.
racket head.
No,
right?
no,
And
no.
anticipating a
Counter
little
drop
bit
shot,
better.
right?
But
if they're flat-footed at
If
the
you're
baseline.
looking to improve your actual
Right? So that now
sprinting
they
speed,
have to run
you gotta
forward.
start
They just
sprinting
made
more,
you work.
right?
Now you
have your coach
make
do
them
drills
work.
where you're gonna have to sprint
Okay?
up to net to get those. You
Let's
know,
see.
and after running up for a drop shot,
Brad
one
wants to know what kind of fitness
raw
routine
speed
is best for tennis.
right? If you're really slow to get to drop shots,
First of all,
it's
what up,
probably
Brad?
more of a reaction thing,
Second of all,
right? That's my
for
opinion.
footwork,
Most players
jump roping
can
is the
get
best
a
fucking
big
thing.
jump in that
So,
kind of speed.
most players,
They don't even
that's
have
going
to
to be
do
the
any
highest
running
leverage activity.
It's
at
just
the start
training, reading the
to
racket
get them
head,
in better shape,
right? And anticipating
and to
a
be
little bit
lighter
better.
on your feet.
All right, but
Because footwork
if
is
you're
really
looking
the
to
biggest
improve your
premium
actual
thing in
sprinting
tennis.
speed,
Right? If you can't
you
move
gotta
to the
start
ball, if you can't
sprinting
get to the
more,
ball, you ain't gonna
right?
hit the ball.
Have your coach
So,
do drills.
that's my
where
2
you're gonna
cents
have to
there.
sprint up to net to get those. You know, And after running up for a drop shot, one really raw speed thing, right? If you're really slow to get to drop shots, it's probably more of a reaction.
We are back.
Right?
Watching the
That's
footage.
my opinion. Most players can get a big jump in that kind of speed. They don't even have to do any running drills. It's just training, reading the racket head, right, and anticipating a little bit better. All right, but if you're looking to improve your actual sprinting speed, you got to start sprinting more, right? Have your coach do drills where you're gonna have to sprint up to net to get those, you know. And after running up for a drop shot, one really raw speed thing, right? If you're really slow to get to drop shots, it's probably more of a reaction thing, right? That's my opinion. Most players can get a big jump in that kind of speed. They don't even have to do any running drills. It's just training, reading the racket head, right? And
On the
anticipating a
run
little bit
backhand
better.
like that,
All right, but
I'm not
if
sure
you're
it's the
looking to
best
improve your
decision to
actual
go slice
sprinting
backhand
speed,
there.
You got to start
On
sprinting
the run
more,
like that.
right?
She was
Have your
there
coach do
with
drills
time.
where you're gonna have to
She could have
sprint up
totally
to net
hit
to
that.
get those.
Gun to her head, she could have totally
You know?
hit that ball with
And
2 hands.
after running
So
up
in
for
my
a drop
opinion,
shot,
it's
one
unnecessary
really
to slice that, right?
speed
Unless it's
thing,
clear
right? If
that,
you're really slow to
you
get
know,
to drop shots,
slice is doing some
probably
type
more
of
of a
damage to your
reaction
opponent.
right?
So
that's
you
my
can hit the
opinion.
slice, nothing
Most
necessarily
players
wrong with that.
Can get a big
But
jump in that.
If you're
kind of
concerned about
speed.
errors,
don't
right,
even
you want
have
to
to do any
minimize
running
that, and maybe you're down in
It's
the
just
game,
training, reading the racket
maybe
head,
don't go for that.
right, and anticipating a little bit better. All right, but if you're looking to improve your actual sprinting speed, you got to start sprinting more, right? Have your coach do drills where you're gonna have to sprint up to net to get those.
Is it good to be
You know?
an 8 UTR
And
for a
after
player
running
born
up
in
for a drop
2010?
shot, one really right? If you're
My
really
math
slow to
ain't
get to
mathing,
drop
so I don't know
shots,
how old you are,
it's
bro,
probably more of
but-
a
oh, yeah.
reaction thing,
So you're like 15,
right? That's my opinion. Most
pretty
players
good, bro.
can get a big.
If you're
pretty
concerned
good.
about
You can
errors,
definitely still
right, you
improve
want
it,
to
bro.
minimize that,
So,
and maybe your game
can definitely
maybe
improve
don't
it.
go for that.
Definitely improve it. It's a good start though. It's definitely a good foundation, bro. You're at a good spot, but I would start pushing to 10, 11 UTR, bro. ASAP. I'm a sophomore about to graduate who is an 8.1 UTR.
If
Is
you're
it
concerned about
possible
errors,
to
right, you want to minimize that,
get
and
to an
maybe you're
11
down in the
UTR
game.
by December of my senior year? Of course, bro. Of course it's possible. It's a lot of fucking time, right? You can improve your UTR very quickly, okay? But you got to be realistic about what it takes to do that. You got to compete a lot. You got to compete consistently. Maybe don't go
Right.
for that. And you got to compete against good players too, right? So there's certain tournaments like the Battle of Boca in Florida that you can play.
I'm a sophomore
that
about
will be
to
really
graduate
helpful
who is an
in being able to
8.1
play against
UTR.
really
Is
good
it
players
possible
as well.
to
So if
get
you
to an
haven't
11
gotten a
UTR
chance to
by
get out there
December
and
of
play
my
that
senior
tournament, that would be a really good one for you, bro. In the summers, maybe go down to Florida and play some of those tournaments. That tournament, that would be a really good one for you, bro. In the summers, maybe go down to Florida and play some of those tournaments. As a 15-year-old, Satwick asks, as a 15-year-old trying to go pro, should I be spending time in playing Tennis Canada tournaments or playing ITFs? It's a good question. So I'm not too familiar with Tennis Canada. I'm assuming that's just like USTA. That would be a really good one for you, bro. Dude, if you're trying to go pro, maybe go down to Florida and play some of those. What I would recommend for you, bro, is let me see if you put your UTR earlier in the chat. Yeah, you said you're an 8 UTR. Dude, if you're an 8 UTR right now, bro, and okay, I'm just trying to picture this. So you're 15, you're 8 UTR, and you're considering playing ITFs. ITFs are good for you, but what I would recommend is you could travel. Look, if you can just travel to all the ITFs and play those, that's great. Might be pretty costly. What I would recommend, the reason why I'm very bullish on tournaments like the Battle of Boca
is because you can literally show up there, right, and compete, right, weekend after weekend. You could go there for like, let's say 3 weeks and play 3 tournaments in the same location, right? And you can literally play against like the same level players, if not better, right, than the ones you'll be playing in any of those tournaments even, right? You're going to have to win a lot of ITF matches and go through qualies to get to some solid level players there, most likely. So what I would recommend would be, if you can, try to play some of those UTR tournaments, bro. Like the same level players, if not in that one specifically, right? Battle of Boca would be a really good one for you, man. I've seen a lot of players similar level have some real good results playing that tournament. So that would be my 2 cents for you, bro. Hold up, this kid has to get in the live. Let's see. Let's see what he's got to say. Bro backed out. Bro couldn't handle the heat. But yeah, guys, I'm doing some YouTube content right now, reviewing some match play footage. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it. But I'm going to continue reviewing. Hold up, this kid has to. Take a look at that again. So that was really good. It was a solid opportunity there, but Hailey Baptiste did a really fucking good job keeping that ball low to her feet there. Made her play a tough volley. That's good job from Gracheva, but that's just better from Hailey Baptiste. Just too good. Hold up, this kid has to. Okay, so take a look at this there, look. So look, I'm not saying you can't hit this close stance, but look at where her contact point is here, right? She hits the ball pretty close to her body actually, right? So because of that fact, right? Because of that fact that, look at where she goes here, look. She hits the serve out wide. She's a little bit on the move here, okay? If you can connect way out in front, that's great. But you're a little on the move, right? The default, in my opinion, go open stance there. Go open stance. And my thing there is, look, it's just try it out for yourself. See if it works for you. I've seen with most athletes who I've applied that with, it's helped them tremendously, right? So if you apply it and it doesn't work for you specifically and you're some freak scenario, don't do it. But if you haven't tried it as a default, especially when you're on the move on your backhand as well, I would definitely recommend implementing that, okay? This thing is lagging. That looked into me. Let's see what they say. Hold up, this kid has to find a mark. That looked way into me. Is that out? I guess it was out. So someone asked, what is the UTR requirement for a D1 college? That looked into me. You could probably get onto a D1 team if you're like a 9 UTR, 10 UTR.
But if you want to play a lot on a really good D1 team, you're going to have to be like a 12 or 13 UTR at least.
Around there. But if you're like a 8, if you're like a 9, 10, if you're like a 10 UTR, you can get on a team for sure. You can definitely get on a team. I would say 9 UTR, you're kind of pushing it. You might be able to, but get to a 10, you'll be better off.
Then, see, you get back to Eric and let the right to the right. What did it cut your afterwards? Wait, we had it. Let it be. Can I tell about how to put it away? Goodbye. What do you want?
So see there, you couldn't even see Hailey Baptiste in the frame, right? She was really far back in the court there. So it makes sense why Gracheva went
down the line with that approach shot. Because if your opponent's really, really far back, especially on clay, going cross there, they might still be able to get to it, right? Because the ball might bounce up a little more than usual. Clay's going to play a little slower than hard, right? So good decision to go line there, okay? So see there, you couldn't even see Hailey Baptiste in the frame, right? She was really far back in
What
the
are my
court
main
there.
takeaways from
So it
Sinner
makes
versus
sense
Alcaraz
why
yesterday? I haven't watched it yet.
Gracheva went
watch it
down
soon.
the line. So see there, you couldn't even see Hailey Baptiste in the frame, right? She was really far back in the court there. So it makes sense why Gracheva went down the line. Bro, what is going on with this connection? I think it's the original video's lagging. So see there, you couldn't even see Hailey Baptiste. Personally, in the frame, if I'm Hailey Baptiste in this scenario, I'm up 5-2, it's 15-all. I'm slicing the serve out wide. Down the line. Very simple. I'm doing it every time. Second serve, let's see where she goes. Oh, that was first serve actually. Interesting. Why did she go for that? That was a good kick. So see there, you couldn't even see Hailey Baptiste in the frame, right? She was really far back in the court there. So it makes sense why
If you guys get
Gracheva went down the line.
What are the best D1 teams on the West Coast? Bro, I would just go to the UTR site, pop in the teams, see which ones have the highest UTRs, bro.
So see there, you couldn't even see Hailey Baptiste in the frame, right? She was really far back in the court there. So it makes sense why Gracheva went down the line. So there, you can see here she's a little off balanced when she's hitting the ball. This tells me she's not close enough to the ball. She could have adjusted a step or two more, or just a bigger step, right? She just wasn't close enough to the ball here. You can see she's way off balance. So notice, she missed the ball. So see there, but players miss. That's not that important. Baptiste in the frame, Look at what was really far control, what she did with her body. So it makes sense, right? That contributed to that. Gracheva went ask yourself, down the line, what stance could I get in, or how could I position myself differently, okay, so that I can avoid that for myself, for my own game.
Is there a way we can see your screen? So
I was trying to set up the stream on YouTube. I'm definitely going to be setting it up, but the audio is just going to be a bunch of issues, bro.
But yeah, I mean, my plan is I'm definitely going to be streaming this stuff a lot more on YouTube, on some other platforms too. So stay tuned for that. But
Yeah, if you want to see my screen right now.
Hello, this is what we're doing. This is the camera behind the scenes. So, a little behind the scenes there for the IG family. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great fucking day today. I've had an amazing day today.
So notice, she missed issues, bro.
But yeah, I mean, my plan is I'm definitely going to be streaming this stuff a lot more on YouTube, on some for that.
Big
but
hitters are very comfortable at the baseline. If you want to see my screen and they're very comfortable moving left and right. So what you can do against sometimes big hitters is move them forward and back and test them on that front, on that vertical. Okay, and see, and just see if they can move forward and back. Great too. That's cool. But
what I would do is I would experiment with moving them forward and back, and also use the slice.
Get the ball out of their strike zone
for that,
so
but
either higher,
yeah, if you want to see
right,
my screen right now,
or lower than their strike zone with the slice,
and also use the slice.
How do I play short players who hit hard and low? Their strike zone. So either higher,
short players
right?
In general,
you're gonna want to bring them into net, bro. You're gonna want to bring them in the net, especially if they're really short. That's what I like to do. And also use the guys. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube, click on my Instagram, click on the link in my bio, go to the YouTube page, subscribe. I have all my long form videos. There's like hour breakdowns. There's like a lot of breakdowns there. So
yeah, you're missing out if you're not sub to the YouTube. That's where I do most of my content, honestly. Now.
What? Oh, take the injury suck. You're just like chocolate. Okay. Oh, just no. Do you need it? Do you? Show it in. Fuck. Down, what did the boy? Full float did. What question? Stand it in the he would have that back. It not. It's got good. Well, it's out. That. What? Listen, you're impressed, isn't it? You need to I love to. Didn't get on good. That's a little better. Look the other thing.
And that was a solid first set. 6-2 from Hailey Baptiste. Damn.
I said, that was what? It's not even a great break.
Just subbed on YouTube. Let's fucking go, Isaiah. You're going to improve a lot, bro. Can guarantee that. Okay, let's see. A dinner car. It's an interesting name. A dinner car. Bro's name is a dinner, then a car. That's fucking crazy. But shout out you, bro.
I've been playing for about 7 months.
Just subbed on YouTube. Let's fuck.
UTR is 3.09 right now. Do you think it's possible to become a 6.5 UTR in 2 years? If you've only been playing for 7 months, dude, you're new to the game, bro. So it's not that bad, bro.
On YouTube, let's fuck.
How old are you? 2 years? Yeah, that's definitely possible, man. You can definitely go from a 3 to a 6 within that time frame. especially when you're a lower UTR, you can improve your
you're new to the
UTR
game,
really
so
fucking
that's
quick,
not-
bro. Really, really
Just
quick.
sub.
But yeah, Isaiah, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Massive respect, bro. My boy.
How old are
my
you?
boy Isaiah.
How old are you?
Isaiah.
2 years?
Wallet checks. Okay, let's see. What's the minimum number of
within that time
hours I
frame.
should train?
I'm 15.
Especially when you're a lower UTR. I mean, if you're 15, bro,
you can improve your UTR really
assuming you're
fucking
healthy,
quick, bro.
assuming
Really, really quick.
you're acclimated to it, you should be playing at least 4 hours a day, bro. But yeah, Isaiah, shout out to
really
you, bro.
want to improve
Shout
your
out to
game.
you. Massive
But
respect, bro. Even if you don't have that
My boy
amount
Isaiah.
of time, okay, daily to put into it,
2 years.
it's more
Yeah.
about, are you practicing every day?
Wallet checks.
And are you building your feel
What's
and
the
are you building
minimum number of
consistency
hours
with
I
your
should
training?
train?
Right? If you were to train
15.
really well with a lot of purpose for
I mean,
2
if you're
hours,
15, bro.
right?
Assuming you're
And
healthy,
really focus on that,
assuming
and really
you're
give it your all.
acclimated to it,
You might
should
get
be
more
playing
out
at
of
least
that
4
than
hours a
someone
day,
else
bro.
practicing for 4 hours,
You know,
right?
if you really
So
wanna
it's not
improve.
really about how much you're
Right.
training, which
Even if you don't
obviously
have
is a
that-
component, right? How much you train is important, but it's more so about what are you doing within those 2 hours, 4 hours, hour, etc. Right?
2
So hope that
years.
makes sense for you, bro.
Wallet checks.
And yeah, everyone else, join
What's the
Isaiah.
minimum number of
Sub to the
hours I should
YouTube.
train?
Satwick, sub to the YouTube, bro.
I mean, if you're 15, bro, assuming you're healthy, assuming you're
That's
acclimated
crazy,
to it,
bro. That's
you should be playing at least
crazy.
4 hours a day, bro. If you really want to improve your game. But even if you don't have that,
Caleb Adams 1146 says, "Would you rather see a tree grow or an
Isaiah.
elbow grow?"
Isaiah.
What the fuck?
What
Is going on with you, man?
Isaiah. Wallet checks. What's the minimum number of hours I should train?
Ben says, "What should I do if I only serve 120?" Bro, you're a scrub, man.
I mean, if you're
you
15,
suck.
bro,
You suck at tennis.
assuming
quit
you're
tennis, bro.
healthy,
Quit
assuming
tennis. That's what I
you're
recommend for you.
acclimated to it, you should be playing at least 4 hours a day, bro. If you really want to improve your game.
Ben, you should quit tennis, bro.
But-
That's what I recommend.
Even if you don't have that. Isaiah, 2 years. Wallet checks. What's the minimum number of hours I should train? I'm 15. I mean, if you're 15, bro, assuming you're healthy, assuming you're acclimated to it.
Good volley there. You could also hit a swing volley there. If you face that scenario, you could also hit a swing volley on that.
But even if you don't have that.
Okay, let's see here.
My boy,
High school
Isaiah.
player that has been playing for a while, currently a freshman, but never got into
Isaiah,
tournaments.
2 years.
I want to play in
Yeah.
college. What are some tips on how I can
Wallet
improve my
checks.
UTR fast? How many tournaments a month are you
minimum
playing?
number of hours I should train?
You should be playing
I'm
3 to 4
15.
tournaments a month. If you're
I mean, if
serious
you're
about
15,
improving
bro,
your UTR, bro.
Assuming you're healthy.
If you're not, you're just
assuming
capping.
you're acclimated to it, you should be playing at least 4 hours a day, bro. If you really want to improve your game. But even if you don't have that.
Bruh.
My boy Isaiah. Isaiah.
Caleb, you're an
2
interesting
years.
guy, buddy.
Isaiah. Wallet checks.
You're an interesting guy. You're gonna
What's
you're
the
gonna get me
minimum
one of
number
these
of
days, bro,
hours
but
I
not
should
today.
train? I'm
Not
15.
today.
I mean, if you're 15, bro, assuming you're healthy, assuming
guys are
you're
fucking
acclimated to it,
crazy.
you should be playing at least 4 hours a day, bro. If you really want to improve your game.
be crazy a little bit.
But even if you don't have that.
But yeah, hope you guys are having a good day. I'm making some great content
My
right
boy
now.
Isaiah.
And yeah,
Wa-
stoked to connect with you guys.
2
If you guys got
years.
any questions
Yeah.
about literally anything, I got you. Let me know.
Wallet checks.
I'll put it in my YouTube video I'm making.
Hours I should train. I'm 15.
Jay Doshi, what up? Hold up, I'll be right back. I just gotta use the
Hours I
restroom real
should
quick.
train. I'm 15.
Don't say anything fucking crazy in the chat. Hours I should train. I'm 15. Hours I should train. I'm 15. Hours I should train. I'm 15. Yo, we back. Let's see. Hours I should train. I'm 15. But yeah, guys, for anyone new here, I'm doing a YouTube video right now, so any questions you guys got, feel free to drop them. But yeah, this is the setup we got right now. A little behind the scenes. So here, if Hailey Baptiste commits early to running this way, then you would go away from her, behind her body. If she stays in this corner, boom, rip inside in. Good decision there. Good decision. Moshak 4 says, Chase, do you think you can get a game off of Djokovic right now? Yes. 15. Yes, I do. Kick body. The thing there that worries me is, like, anytime she's on the run, she's starting to bail to that slice and loses the control of the rally. So I think if she would be able to just commit for a short period of time of just hitting the ball with two hands on the run exclusively, I think that could help clean up some of those errors. And it's not like she's missing the ball, but it's an error in terms of now you're letting go of control of the point, right? And that can actually force you to improve your footwork as well. Hours I should train. I'm 15. You think you can beat anyone in the top 100? Men's or women's? Men's or women's? Men's might be tough. What about Iga? Bro, if I'm playing my best, that's going to be a battle. That would be a battle, but I would definitely bet on myself, bro. What should I be doing when I start getting tired between long matches and my body starts giving up? I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. There's some breathwork stuff you can do to help you with your mindset, get you some more energy, right? Like a small thing that I help players with as well is like kind of getting into that right state. And what I tell them is you can utilize this breathing technique, which is where you breathe in, okay, for a few seconds. All right, let's say it's like 3 to 5 seconds. And then you do a quick exhale. And then you do a big, as much as you can breathe in again. And then you only exhale a little bit of air. And then you do that again for about a minute or two. And what that does is you're flooding your body with oxygen. Okay? So what that does is, in terms of like your body, there's the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, right? So one of those is fight or flight, and one of them is rest and digest. So by doing that breathing exercise, you're going to prime yourself to get more into that fight or flight mode, right? That energetic, right? As opposed to more of like doing, if you want to get more into the rest and digest and kind of calm yourself down, what that does, you can implement like box breathing. In terms of like your body, for example, there's the sympathetic and back to your question, what should you be doing when you're getting tired between long matches and your body starts giving up? So by doing the reality is you got to keep putting yourself more in those tough situations so you can acclimate to it, right? That energetic. If you play, a long tournament every once in a while, it's going to be a very weird thing for your body. But if you're used to that and your training is harder than your tournaments and you're doing that every fucking day, in terms of like your body, right? There's the that's when you're going to go into tournaments and your body's not going to give up. So one of those is fight or flight, and one of them is rest and digest. You got to do a lot more in your training so that it's not so taxing for you in tournaments, right? And follow that framework, bro. Should help. You're going to prime yourself to get more into that fight or flight mode, right? That energetic, right? As opposed to more like doing flooding your body with oxygen that we had. So what that does, first live I've done in terms of like your body, there's the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, right? So one of those is fight or flight, and one of them is rest and digest. So and follow your back in. Not much you can do there yourself to get more into that fight or flight mode, right? That energetic, right? As opposed to more like side out back in doing from the middle of the court. That's tough. That's a tough shot. Nothing you can do. Okay. So what that does, in terms of like your body, there's the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, right? So one of those is fight or flight, and one of them is rest and digest. So are massages important? So when it comes, I assume you're asking about like recovery and like massages in terms of like, does that help with recovery and like, is that beneficial? To get more into answer is that fight or flight mode, right? That energetic. But most players, they focus as opposed to more like little things like doing, okay, am I getting massages? Am I doing an ice bath? Am I stretching? Am I doing this? In terms of like your body, which is good. It's good that you're thinking about those parasympathetic nervous system. Right, so one of those, if you're not taking care of one of the 90% of recovery, which is going to be sleep, and then maybe small percent of like nutrition, right, and then all that other stuff is the rest. You're going to prime yourself, right? But it's mainly to get sleep, more into nutrition, that fight or flight for the most part, right? That in terms of recovery, right? So if you're not on the ball with those things, I think you're wasting your time and money trying to do all this extra fancy shit. So what that does, you know what I'm saying? So in terms of it is something though that if you're already doing all the work, you're already doing kind of all the legwork, and you're looking for a small thing you can do to help you a little bit. That'll help, but don't expect some crazy results, bro, from that. Let's be real. And follow. Who is your favorite player technique-wise? To get more into that's a good question. That fighter, there's a lot of players who that have energetic, really good technique and hit all the checkpoints and stuff. So I would say like it's kind of stroke dependent for me. Oxygen. Okay. It's stroke dependent. So what that does, I would say for certain players, I like their forehands, like their backhand, like their serve, whatever.
Sympathetic nervous system. Right, so one of
yeah,
those
I'd say
is
it's pretty
fight or
straightforward,
flight,
dude.
and one of them is rest and digest.
But obviously, like Federer hits super clean. Like Federer, really nice technique.
But yeah,
It's kind of I would say it's stroke dependent
yourself
in general.
to get
but
more
Federer,
into
I would say
that
clueless.
fight or flight mode, right? That energetic, right? As opposed to more
like doing
flooding your body with oxygen.
Again,
Okay.
notice that footwork
So what
when
that
she got the
does-
short ball. She got the ball that bounced in the
So
service
how do you-
box.
There's the
So
sympathetic
notice
and
how she takes
parasympathetic
one
nervous system.
aggressive step
Right, so
in
one
front
of
of
those
her
is
body,
fight or flight,
right?
and one of them is
Not
rest
a lot
and
of
digest.
times are you going to be training with your coach where they're teaching you this, right? Where you step in front like this, okay? But it's something that time and time again, as you keep watching my videos
Yeah.
and see this footage,
You're gonna
players do
prime
it,
yourself
even at the
to
highest
get
levels,
more into
and even
that
really
fight
not
or
at lower
flight
levels because they don't know how to do
mode,
it,
right?
right?
That
But this is why I'm
energetic,
showing you
right?
guys this at this level
as opposed
because
to
you can
more-
apply this, right?
doing
And usually
flooding
when
your
I
body
show
with
this type of
oxygen.
example, usually they're a lot
Okay?
shorter in
So
the
what that
court
does-
when they do that.
Same.
Okay? But
So,
it was literally the
there's
same
sympathetic
scenario.
and
It was
parasympathetic
just
nervous
a
system.
ball that she could
Right,
attack
so
on
one of those is
that
fight or
she was
flight,
positioned
and
a
one
little
of
bit
them is
deeper in
rest
the
and
court.
digest.
So
that's really it for that.
7 point.
By the way, what country are you guys in right now? You guys American? What country are you guys on? Trades.
I'm to go shoot. They're beast. They're digging. Quick, expect and how it go. Listen, excellent. It's just tired of that son. Good. Well, that. Yeah, boss. Don't kill me. Snake roll.
Notice she went down the line there. There's a reason. There's a reason why she went there.
Good.
It's crazy. Even here, look. Technically, she did that too. Look, right foot, boom, hit left foot.
Like,
That was good.
so not. This no. But like.
All right, let's see here. I get too close to my backhand. What should I do to make it powerful? Because I feel like I have no space while hitting it, which is why it's holding me back to hit it hard. Okay, so I've never seen any footage of your backhand, so I'm just making general kind of
claims here for you, bro.
boom,
But
hit
I'm gonna
left
give you some
foot.
timeless advice.
Like,
All right.
That was good.
So you're
So
too
not-
close on your backhand.
this no.
What I would recommend for you, technically on your backhand, something to work on
Yeah,
with your
like-
coach, or just on your own, and just try this. Let's say I'm assuming
All right,
you're
let's see
righty.
here.
With your right elbow,
I get too
if you're
close to my
lefty, you switch it to your
backhand.
left. If you're
What should I
righty,
do to make it powerful?
Okay.
Because I feel like I have no
lock
space
out
while
your
hitting
right
it
elbow on your
which is why it's holding me
before you
back
turn.
to hit it hard.
Lock out your right
Okay,
elbow on
so
your backhand
I've never seen
before
any
you
footage
turn.
of your backhand, so
And
I'm
then
just making
prepare,
general
turn fully
kind of
all the way. Okay.
boom,
And
hit left
What
foot.
that's going to do is you're presetting the
That was good.
lever arm,
So not.
okay,
This
and commit to keeping it straight. Okay, that will help
like-
you expose, all right, the next stuff that I'm about to talk about.
All right, let's see here.
Okay, now
I get too close to my
after you've tried
backhand.
that and you're starting to work
What
on
should
it,
I
you commit
do
that.
to make it powerful?
Now,
Because I
want
feel
you
like I have
to
no space while
experiment
hitting
with
it,
this.
which is why it's holding
Okay.
me back
Now,
to hit it hard.
experiment with open
Okay,
stance on
so
your backhand.
I've never seen any
Because
footage
with
of your
open stance on
backhand,
your
so
backhand,
I'm just
you
making
can
general
actually make contact
kind
a
of-
little bit closer to your body. So it's one way that you can kind of troubleshoot that in the moment if you're not going to adjust anything technically.
And
Right?
commit to
Try
keeping
some
it
open
straight.
stance. Try
Okay?
your next practices.
That will help
right?
you
the next week of
expose
practices.
All right, the
Just
next
hit
stuff
open
that I'm
stance
about to
on your
talk about.
backhand, especially when you're on
Okay?
the road.
Now,
If it's a really, really short ball, you
after
want to
you've
step
tried
in,
that,
whatever.
and you're starting to work on that, and you
Don't
commit
sweat
to
it.
that.
But
Now, I want you
try
to
flipping the
experiment
switch
with this.
as a general rule and
Okay?
try some more open
Now,
stance backhands, bro.
Experiment
Okay? That
with
should help a lot.
open stance.
That's it for this one, guys. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And if you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments below. I got you. I believe in you. Make the sacrifices today to make your dreams come true. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.